How's it going, everyone? Coach Javi here, and for today's video I wanted to do something a little bit different. Instead of just going through the regular training montage, I kind of wanted to walk you through each exercise. So I'll do a little voiceover and just explain why we do each exercise and what the sets and the reps look like. The focus for this session was light movement and lots of touches on the ball. So you're never going to see him for more than 2-3 seconds without the ball at his feet. Lots of touches and very light movement. He's just using this as a recovery session because we just had a pretty tough session the day before. So let's get straight into it. So we always start off with this as a basic warm-up. We do 25 for each foot, and the first one is just inside of the foot. So we do the right leg, and then we do the left leg, and then we do 50 total alternating, so 25 and 25 still. And then after that, we do outside of the foot. So as you can see, we do the right leg, and then we do the left leg, and then we combine them both and just alternate. It's a great little warm-up, gets his legs moving, gets his touch going. And then after that, we incorporate the balance pad and just go through the usual progressions that we always go through with the balance pad, which is inside of the foot. And we do about 12 to 15 on each side. And then we did laces, and we do again 12 to 15 on each side. After that, we do off the bounce inside of the foot, and then off the bounce laces, and then we finish off with thigh laces. And the reps are the exact same for every single one. So 12 to 15 on each leg, and then we switch. And then after that, we just had some basic two-touch passing, but after a certain amount of passes, I call out a color. In this version, if I call out yellow, he shoots to the orange goal. So it's just two touches back and forth, gets his legs moving, but he also has to think when that ball comes in. If I call out orange, he has to make sure he's focused, and he puts it into the opposite goal, just to try to confuse him a little bit and get his brain thinking. And then as you can see, I'm switching the poles here just to kind of mix it up and just see if I can confuse him a little bit. Again, just to make sure that his mind's activated and he's thinking and he's paying attention. So we switched up the variation now. It's thigh, he brings it down, and then he plays it into the goal. What I want him to do is be able to control it with his thigh and then be able to bring it down completely so that the ball's on the ground before he makes the pass. Because if he tries to make the pass right after he controls it with his thigh, it's probably going to be up in the air and it's going to bounce. The next one, again, is a nice light diagonal movement. He receives the ball at the end and he just plays it into the goal. He just repeats this pattern back and forth, and I did about 10 to 20 balls. Good little exercise just to get him moving. Some nice slight diagonal patterns, kind of like what you would see in a warm-up. And again, this is a light intensity session, so light movement. I don't want him to go as fast as he can. I just want to make sure that he's moving. The next one's pretty basic. Play him the ball. He turns with the outside of the foot, plays against the wall, turns, plays me back, and then we repeat the motion. So I want him to use different parts of his foot to turn. That's why in this one I had him use the outside of the foot, and then when he receives it with the wall, it's just kind of however it comes back to him. So he's like turning outside of a defender, keeping an eye on the ball the entire time. The next progression is he opens up, plays against the wall, receives, plays me back, plays a quick little 1-2, opens up again to the opposite side. And now what I want him to do is open up those hips, see if he can receive it with the farthest foot, and on his first touch, he should already be facing in the direction he wants to play, which is against the wall, so he's not losing any time there. And then we just finished off with basically the same exercise we did during the warm-up, but this time I just added the resistance band to kind of get him a little bit more tired. And this is just a cool down, just back and forth. Again, the exact same thing, 25 on each leg, and then we went through the two variations. So that was it. I hope you guys liked the voiceover, and again, let me know if you guys want me to do this again in the future. Back to the video. So I hope you guys liked that little voiceover. Just wanted to do something a little different than the usual training montage. This weekend went all right. We had 2 games with my Cobra girls. Won the first one against a team that was 2 divisions above us, so that was pretty good. And then the next day we ended up losing, but we lost to the team that beat us last season, the only team that beat us last season. So 2 losses in like 16-18 games, so not too bad. The second game, I think we could have won. I think the girls were a little bit too relaxed because we had just had a big win the day before. But I do put a lot of the blame on myself as a coach. You always have to reflect, first of all, on what you could have done better, and then what the players could have done better. If you can't take a look at yourself and realize that you need to improve after the losses, then you shouldn't be coaching, mate. Shouldn't be coaching. Because too often I see a lot of coaches, oh, well, the players just weren't up for it. The players this, the players that. Mate, if you're a good coach, The players will follow you. Although I felt like I did try to change things tactically, I felt like I didn't do enough to motivate my girls and to make sure that they were in the right mindset prior to the game. Early on in my coaching career, part of my philosophy was that I was a coach and not a motivator. Unless you're at the top levels, I think you have to also be a motivator, and you have to make sure that they have the right mindset before you go out and play. And I don't think I did that yesterday, so I put that part on myself, mate. But nonetheless, I will do better as a coach, and I do expect my players to do better as well, and I have let them know that. So we have a tournament coming up, and hopefully that goes pretty well. But anyway, as you can see, we're in the shed today, and we've had a lot of sessions with Isak. So lately this place has been an absolute mess. Huge shout out to Coach Brad, who came up here yesterday and organized it pretty well, but there's still a lot of clutter that I have to finish cleaning up. So he made my job easier. Oh, by the way, yesterday was Coach Brad's birthday, so make sure you wish Coach Brad a happy birthday down in the comment section. I'm sure he would appreciate your comments. The big 45. Can you believe that? 45 years old. Brad is getting old, mate. Brad is getting old. Alright, let's clean the shed. Bradley did a pretty good job organizing it, but there's still a lot of clutter. Most of the stuff is pretty organized, but I have to come in here and just finish completely cleaning this place so it's nice and clean. We haven't given this place good cleaning in a while, so this is how it looks before I clean it. You can see all the clutter in the back. Okay, and this is how it looks after I clean it. Not too bad, huh? Not too bad. Now we actually have to go back and clean it. Wouldn't it be cool if I could just do that in real life, right? Just spin and all of a sudden it's clean. Whatever. Let's get to cleaning. We interrupt this program to bring you a special edition of Tactics Corner. So we apparently run out of magnets, but the blue team's the blue team, plus the white players, and the red team's the red team. So, building out of the back. Actually, we're going to make this the ball. Building out of the back with the goalkeeper, right? Center backs, nice and wide. Full backs, nice and high. Center mids can stay there. If the attacking team decides to press right here, so this player is back and wide to force this player to make a decision. He either goes here with him or he comes here with him. If he goes here, then the ball gets played out here and then we can play through the middle. If he goes here, then there's an open passing lane to him, or if this guy's on him, he can check in, the 6 can check in, we can play him, and now we got numbers going forward, right? Everybody moves up. What you want from your 6 and your 8 is they can start there. If this person stays and tries to split the difference, one can come, and now there's an open passing lane to him. As soon as the ball comes to the center back, can we look for this gap in here? All right, because this person's most likely going to try and cut off this pass right here. So if we can, here, and now we split them, and oftentimes, if this happens, now as this player checks in to receive the ball, this player's going to follow. Can we bypass him and go to the second center mid? And then eventually what you want is for the ball to move like this, like that. Boom, 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 boom. So basically 6 or 7 booms, and then you should be in goal, mate. Damn, I just wasted like 20 minutes like that. biggest pet peeve, I don't know if you guys are on the same page, but for me, the biggest pet peeve is when cones are all mixed, when the players mix all the cones up. It says a lot about a player who organizes the cones for the coach so that they're all on the same color. It says a lot about a player. So if you're a player, when the coach tells you to pick up the cones, make sure you separate them into their correct colors, because otherwise it's like, mate, come on, seriously? All right, back at it. So here is the final product here. I put the mannequins first, closest to the door, because these are the ones that we use the most and they take up the most space. So if we can get them out quickly, there's going to be a little bit less clutter. The balls and the cones already hanged up. The little resistance bands that we have, and then the agility poles fit nice right behind that little thing right there. They're all in one spot. The old school mannequins that we used to have and we used to use back in the 60s. And then we got hurdles up there, all different sizes. We have the exercise bike right here, the stationary bike. A lot of times when players are injured or they can't fully practice, they take this right outside and then they hop on that for a little bit. And then this is just all the other old stuff that we never use that we just throw in the back. Old soccer balls, speed ladders, the goal shot thing, old school mannequins again. I think those might be from the 40s. And then just some of the game day stuff that we use here. Templates for the field. But now there's so much more space. Look, there's walking space now. You can actually walk in and walk out. Wow. So we're a pretty small Division I school. We have all the equipment that we need. We really can't complain. But for the bigger Division I schools, this is a lot bigger and they have a lot more stuff. But fortunately, we have absolutely everything that we need to get our training sessions in. I'll tell you what, when you bring a Mexican into your program, you already know what you're going to get. You're going to get someone who has very good manners, someone who's very hardworking, and someone who knows how to clean, because they've lived at home for so many years under a mom who on Sundays wakes up at like 6 in the morning, blasts the Mexican music, and wakes you up because you got to start cleaning and helping clean the house. So you already know when Coach Javi's going to do something like this, when he's got to clean the shed, I just think inside my head, would my mom say this is okay? Would my mom say that this is clean, or would my mom kick my ass? Let's move on with our day. We just need a cool transition. There we go. Coach Javi sees the light. I don't think you're supposed to walk towards the light, but for this transition, that's what I'm going to do. Oh, hey, buddy. Isak's getting used to the fact that I have to do like weird stuff to get the transitions. When I like show up with the camera and stuff and I have like, I'm doing something weird, people just look at me like, hey, what are you doing? Now Isak knows if I'm doing something weird, it's because I have a transition I have to complete here. So it's really windy out there. I have a session with Isak right now. We're changing it up just to try something different. We're gonna have his training session before his team training, because oftentimes he does his team training and then we have a technical session afterwards and he's already pretty tired, and sometimes we do some fitness afterwards. So what we want to do is get him tired right now, and then during the team training he has to be able to play and maintain his fitness level without dropping it, because it's during the team training session. So he's already going to be tired, but he's going to have to fight through that to keep the intensity and keep the pace with the team. So we're going to see how that works, and then we'll make adjustments. This whole week, the plan has been make adjustments throughout the week. We haven't had a set plan, but we'll see how this works. And look at this, mate. Check that out. You know how nice it is to walk into a shed and be able to walk through the shed and not have to jump over poles and mannequins and soccer balls and stuff? So yeah, so this is where we're going to end the video. I got to go out there and do the training session real quick. Anything else you guys want to see about his journey, comment that down below. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Ooh, last thing. Sign up for my Atlanta camp. A week and a half left. A week and a half left. So make sure you go and get your spot in before all the spots fill up. All right. Until next time, and adios, muchachos.